Hey guys, Megaton Menace here, back with another video. Once again joined by Asir.
Hey guys.
And today we're going to be watching and reacting to RWBY Volume 8, Chapter 7, which is the halfway point of the season. And of course, after this, the show is going on hiatus for like a month and a half, which means the next episode will be February 6th for the release on Rooster Teeth, and February 13th for the reaction. Now, when it comes to this episode, I feel like that, it's probably going to basically be, preparing for the fight and fighting the fight. And obviously there's a couple characters that probably won't have much to do because, Whitley, as far as we know, doesn't know how to fight, and nor is, still in a coma. And whether or not, Crow and Robin will stay in jail or not kind of seems like a coin flip at this point. But, and I also feel like that, somebody getting killed, I guess, is possible. But I think it's unlikely because, honestly, I feel like that, the original plan for the volume was probably just to be like, a 1-week break for the holiday, air the 14 episodes over 15 weeks, and that the real reason for this hiatus is COVID delays. And that therefore I think that it's probably going to be a relatively normal cliffhanger at the end of the episode. But who knows? I could be very wrong about that.
Yeah. Does that sound like a good breakdown?
Yeah, basically.
Good deal. You ready to get rolling?
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into it.
I mean, do you personally?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Do you personally think that anyone will die this episode, or do you think that no?
Calling RWBY fatalities is really rough because there are two distinct possibilities. It's hard to tell which one it is going to be because I either feel like Pyrrha is going to be the only main character to die throughout the entire series or not. And right now, it's hard to say anything to that other than it either will or will not be exclusively Pyrrha who dies.
I see it. Because right now we're in this thing where it's like either no one else will die ever, or someone else will die, and then after that it will become a common occurrence.
Right, because we've had technically 2 on-screen deaths, right? Because you got Lionheart, did he die on screen too? Okay, so that's 3 that I'm counting. Sienna Khan, Lionheart, Pyrrha.
Yeah.
I guess Penny died.
Yeah.
So maybe 4? I guess there have actually been more KOs than we think about.
But it's also true that, Pyrrha's the only one that's, for lack of a better way to put it, mattered? Because, everyone else has either been a side character or has come back.
Yeah. No, she was main cast. And,
right.
That's really what there is to say, is that she was main cast and got killed. She's the only main caster so far.
Exactly.
Although we've seen other fatalities.
And I guess, Clover was around for a season, but he's also a side character.
Mm.
Farming.
Yeah, right. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that there are crops up north in Mantle.
It's weird, they did talk about it, but there's more of them than I was expecting. But I knew they existed, but I thought that they were smaller. But it makes sense because you kind of need a lot to.
And this makes sense because it's up in Atlas, not down on Mantle.
Right.
And that actually does make a lot of sense because they can control the atmosphere or the temperature.
And also because they would need a way to get food if they flew away. Also, hopefully one of the tractors in those fields catches on fire. Just because that would be a nice reference to who colors the show. Man, that thing can just spit out so many.
Yeah.
At least, it's good to see that the Atlas Army was actually able to deploy immediately.
Right.
It's an impressive force, but it's also way smaller than I thought it was. And don't forget about your airships, though. You got
Yes,
like at
sir.
least a dozen
I
of
am
those.
evacuating all citizens to the subway.
Okay.
Prepare Mantis Squad Omega and dispatch to
So he's
every
trying to
part of
save
Atlas.
people. That's good.
But, sir,
Now!
That's a dope building.
Yeah.
I love the design of that building.
subway stations for shuttle.
Rich people in Atlas.
Yeah.
Panic. 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 Panic.
At this point, though, like, panic is not going to make the situation worse in terms of the Grim at this point.
Yeah, I see it. I always forget that about Grimm. They're like built right into their kit is like the more you fear us, the stronger we be.
It's more so that you being afraid of us makes us come to your location than a power. But you're right. Oh, they actually handcuffed them all?
No, I see it.
Come on, guys. You gotta fight together as a team.
Sir,
That
Shmi
being
here.
said, at least we can
Penny
get a
is still
stupid
MIA,
scene of
but
them
we've
fighting each
apprehended
other because they
Arjun
resisted
Long and
arrest.
Stand by for further orders, and don't let those fugitives out of your sight.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Fugitives.
Still just following orders.
We need to work together to fight this shitstorm.
And it is
You're
indeed
lucky. You're
a
lucky
shitstorm.
that whale doesn't see actually fighting or like landing on the city.
Grim don't take prisoners.
Yeah, just like
This one did.
If you would just let us go.
Cease fire.
yeah.
Mantis squads, concentrate on secondary hostiles. Command is working on a solution for the creature.
Okay.
What do you have in mind, sir?
We aren't making any progress attacking the thing from the outside, but from the inside, it could be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh,
If we're gonna destroy it from the inside,
When it's ready, we'll drop it off as close to the target as possible.
then Penny will be involved
Your team
somehow.
will deliver it on foot. Sending you rendezvous coordinates now.
Of course, sir. We will hold the point and we will get it done.
But Oscar's in there.
You can't do this!
Guys, they need to attack the bad guy. And there's definitely ways to attack. Like attacking the whale's insides does not mean that Oscar dies. He can take care of himself.
yeah. And there are also just gonna be casualties when you're fighting against unstoppable evil.
Right.
Like
It's like you do what you can to stop Salem, and you save who you can. She's trying to sneak out.
yeah. Man, we haven't seen that thing in a long time.
Yeah, that's because like it's only around when Salem isn't, and Salem's been around recently.
You think there's only
That
one of
stuff you
those?
pulled, she'd have killed
We've
you
only
if you
seen
didn't just
one.
Pop up somewhere else.
Actually, maybe
Still.
maybe we've seen more than
You
one.
can
It's
make
hard to
things
say.
easier on yourself if you start telling the truth.
You've never wondered why she recruited you. You, specifically.
Yeah.
To help her find the relics.
Right?
Or why you're even
share a
joining
vision.
her, for that matter.
She's gonna
You
create a
share
new world
vision,
order.
huh?
No. See, yeah, he
No
definitely
kingdoms.
doesn't know what she's actually up to.
And no
You
huntsman
need to tell him what's
academies.
going to happen.
Yep.
New world order. No. When Salem gets all four
Yep.
relics,
There we
there will
go.
be no worlds left at all.
Ha.
Don't you get it?
You need to give him
She's
more
been
detail.
alive longer than you can comprehend.
Yeah.
All she craves now is release.
She wants to die.
Yeah.
Stop lying! Salem can't be killed.
You need to give him more. Give him all the
I killed
numbers.
her over and over again.
Yeah.
Long as she was gone was only a few hours.
Okay.
Before she put herself back together.
Damn. So Hazel's been trying to
When I
put
couldn't
in
lift
work.
my
He tried to kill her before he was
She
an
showed me
ally.
that through her, I could have the vengeance I needed.
Oh, Hazel. Don't you see that is why she came for you? Because she could make you believe that this is what you needed?
This
Savage.
is what you
Yeah.
deserve.
Yes. But Oscar,
Yep.
the
Exactly.
people of Atlas, Remnant, you haven't done what
You're
you've
hurting
done for
people,
justice.
and you're
Done it for
waging
yourself.
war.
Exactly.
Like,
Because
And I
she
really
pushed
want
you
this
to
to work.
think
Like, I
you would
want
have
Hazel to turn.
I see it. I'm
Has it-
invested.
Whew.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah. And we probably won't get any more of them in this episode.
Now what? Am I good
Nice.
for her?
Glad you're okay, Nora. And
It's
it
like she
looks
will
like
be.
the scarring's gonna stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is she?
I've done what I can, but she needs a doctor.
Hopefully
Oh.
May's able to reach the others.
Is there not a doctor in Atlas?
They did
I
say
really
that
hope they're
Whitley and
okay.
Willow were the only people in Schnee Manor because of the shit.
Salem's
And
monsters
now that
making
they're
Grim
under
faster
attack,
than the Atlas military can kill them.
everybody needs
The
it.
city won't stand a chance unless we
Yeah,
stop
you're
it.
right. That makes sense.
It's massive. Way bigger than a Leviathan.
Yes.
What can we even do?
Penny launched Amity, and our message went out.
Quiet.
Do we just wait
Schnee
for someone to
Manor.
come? If they even come.
You need the fight,
No, let's just sit around and sip tea.
right?
Fiona
mean-
said your friends haven't been heard from in a while. Unfortunately, the last thing they're worried about is a couple of kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. I've got the ship ready to head back in.
What? We can't leave.
Wait, where are they heading?
It's chaos at the cradle. Atlas has its army, but
I think
only has
I'm not
us.
sure if she was saying.
People are
I'm not.
dying.
May was
People are
like
dying
retreat,
here
and
too.
Weiss is like fuck
Don't
that.
you have family in
Yeah.
Atlas?
But where she was saying the retreat
No.
to wasn't specified.
Mantle
Gotcha.
needed me. And to the Marigolds, that meant I wasn't their son anymore. And I made sure that everyone knew that I wasn't their daughter. So forget them. They've got Henry, yours have Whitley.
I don't know about.
Which side are you on, anyway?
What side? I mean,
We've heard that before.
Yeah.
There are no sides. We want to help everyone. We're all facing Salem together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Together is the only way we're going to get out of it.
Yep.
So how exactly do we get out of it?
Shit,
So
we
long
don't
as
know.
this world turns, you shall walk its face. That was the curse cast upon her. If Salem
Cool.
can divide humanity beyond repair
Yep.
and bring all four relics back together,
He's like, I'm giving you the
lives,
numbers,
maybe.
Hazel.
their curse will be broken
yeah, like these are the legit
That
numbers.
being
This is
said,
why I say
and destroy them.
Hazel does have a temper, so once he gets these numbers, he also needs to not go off half-cocked.
Nice story.
Yep.
But if Gretchen's death taught me one thing, it was never to trust you.
Come on, dude.
Let me. But Oscar, you want him to trust us?
Yeah.
Trust me. Her name
Okay.
is Jin.
Yeah, the relic.
Want her to
Oh,
come out
boy.
of the lamp?
It's a dangerous
Say her
play,
name.
but it hopefully
She
will.
can still answer one more
It should
question.
work.
She can answer one more question. and
You're
if that-
right.
yeah, and if that question is getting Hazel turned, that
It's worth
probably
it.
is worth.
And hoping you'll find the truth for
Yeah,
yourself.
like use that last question,
Go,
and
buddy.
you can see the truth.
Go, buddy.
And she
He'll say what he thinks will get him
yeah,
out.
So you're still going to Vacuo? After what
Vacuo.
I just told you?
yeah.
Those
Because
are
I mean, that's
Salem's
gonna be
new
the next
orders.
arc.
And I know better than to disobey Salem.
But
Look, even if what he said was true, we can't stop.
So they
Salem.
both know too because
You
of
told
her.
me yourself.
sn-
Hazel
her
tried.
sneaking
He
around.
failed, and he got in line. This
See,
guy's not
and
gonna
like,
pick fights
but
he can't win.
even if they don't believe it, like it's making a rift between them now too.
And all of
Which
this is
is good.
pointless anyway.
Yeah.
Salem's not ending the world. Of course she is.
Yeah, if
You're
anyone would know the truth, if
surprised.
anyone would know the truth, it would be him.
Destruction incarnate.
Yeah.
Our mistress wishes to see the end of it all. There is no ideal
Nice.
more beautiful.
Yeah,
If
no,
you
and
can
I
see
think
that
I
from
even
the
said
start,
this like a few weeks ago or something. That if anyone knew the numbers and would stick,
It would be him.
it would be him.
Now, come along.
See, and now Mercury's face is like, wait, what?
Wait, we're literally destroying the world?
Right, and it's like, whoa, 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 like, but I can't be a bad guy. Like, my voice actor plays heroes and anti-heroes, but I don't play bad guys. What the heck's going on?
This isn't right.
It's like, no,
can't
like,
blow
I'm
up without
Sasuke
still
and I'm
in there.
Ben 10, but I ain't destroying planets.
Please, Winter, give us a chance to try to rescue him first.
Yeah.
We could be your test run. You don't know what'll be waiting for you inside, right?
Like, let
So
us
see if you
rescue
go ahead and
Oscar.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Look
for Oscar
Come
while
on.
we're inside.
Let's do it. Let's have trust in each other.
inside that
This is
thing
a step
alone?
in the right direction.
It's it's crazy. 'Cause, like even though Salem is literally attacking right now, this episode is definitely like set up for the fights to come. Even though there she is.
Stupid.
Right.
No, it's not.
But it's also true that like war
He's
does
our
take
friend.
time.
We will do whatever it takes to find him.
Yeah.
Because we care about him.
Mm-hmm.
I really had you pegged as the most level-headed of the bunch, but I guess you're just as naive.
No.
Feelings don't matter. The job matters.
Feelings do matter,
When
especially
you lose someone on your
for
team, you move on.
for Red.
Replace them.
Yeah.
Marrow replaced Tortuga.
I mean,
and Winter replaced.
No. This
No
line,
one
this
is
thing that they're
replaceable.
arguing about is so hard because it's like in some instances they're gonna be right, and you traded 3 to get
You don't
1
really
and
believe
lost
that.
4, and
Yeah.
in other
You are
instances,
furious about losing Clover. And
Yeah.
You miss him.
You don't know anything about me.
he can see people's.
I think his semblance just evolved,
I agree, and I think he's
and he can see
literally-
people's emotions now,
Yeah.
or their auras. That's why it's the different colors.
That's why you lost against Team RWBY. You.
Oh, this is. I like this. This is
So you'll
clean.
never truly work as a team.
Shut up! You don't know what you're talking about.
Everyone calm down.
That's gonna make Ren really valuable as a potential peacekeeper, though.
We will drop you as close as
That just makes Ren buffs are so cool.
Yeah.
Buff Ren again.
Then again, we also do need
You
to
are
make
now
sure
in
that the buffs
time.
are spread around,
drop
so
the payload.
give some other people some buffs first,
No matter
though.
what.
Because we don't want to only buff Ren.
No, man. Buff Ren. No, that's awesome, though.
It's like, nah, it's like, and also it's like he's safe. Like he ain't dying this volume because he got a buff. If he was gonna die, they wouldn't buff him.
Well, that's not
No,
true.
no, 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 no. If he was gonna die, they wouldn't buff him. He's safe.
A lot of people get buffs just to die.
No!
All I'm saying is that that was one of the coolest evolutions of a character visualized. Like, that was really well done because it
And
came
Winter's
across.
conflicted because she had the entire
What about Crow
rainbow
and
spinning
Robin?
around her.
Well, maybe if we get them out of wherever they're being held, they could.
No.
Well, it
See,
was like
you
blue,
just
green,
don't
and orange.
get it. This is not a situation where everyone wins. Now you all can come with me to help in Mantle, or I can drop you off near the front lines if you still want to help Atlas. Your uncle and Robin can't save us.
That's what this conflict
We have
is.
to
Yeah,
She's like, I'm
Mantle
not
Atlas.
helping
Choose.
Atlas.
I'm helping Mantle.
Stop. Oh boy.
Knocking and sinister music?
Oh boy. This is
A
probably
hat?
This is probably gonna be the cliffhanger.
It's Klein, yeah.
Miss me. I heard there was
Nice.
a patient here who needed my help.
Can you? How much ass can you
I am
kick?
so sorry, Klein.
Probably
it's my
a
fault,
lot.
Father.
Yeah, it's
Please
like
don't
I'm a
worry,
butler
Miss
with
Snowflake.
7
It had nothing
personalities,
to do with you.
7 semblances, 1 per person. That would be.
Well, that's sweet of you. But wait, how did you know?
Ah, young Whitley, I'm so glad that you rang. May I
Oh,
please see the
he's
patient?
he's trying to make peace with
Stand
Weiss, because like he's the one who got Klein fired. So if he called him back, he's trying to make peace with Weiss. That's good.
This is good. Good.
You called Klein.
Yes.
That girl needs a doctor. I didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
I know. That's why. It
That's
means
one of
so
his
much to
many
me.
talents.
Nice.
He's like, what the fuck is this?
What? What do? Emotion? My character wasn't written to have that.
No. Maria and Pietro probably, because we haven't seen them. It's evil.
No, I think this has got to be
Penny.
some bad news.
Or it might be Penny. Yep.
Yep.
Ouch.
I'm sorry.
She's okay.
She's okay.
She's
but-
severely damaged, and when she wakes up, she might try to kill them.
Yeah, because that was right after she got hacked and fell from the sky.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're to assume that happened probably right after.
Yeah. Basically. And it makes sense because like everything we saw in this episode was probably happening around the same time. So like probably like 5, maybe 10 minutes of time actually passed like on the timeline.
Right. No, that makes sense. So what do you think? What did you think of the episode overall?
It was definitely a good episode, and basically that's a good cliffhanger, but it's definitely not like a super obnoxious fuck.
It's not like a
cliffhanger.
rude cliffhanger.
Right. like it's not the type of thing where like, oh, the cliffhanger is like Salem grabbed Ruby by the throat and then the credits rolled or some shit.
Right.
But yeah. And it's definitely a cliffhanger where it's like, yeah, I can wait the month and a half without it being agonizing.
Right, exactly. And it's also, you know, not the kind of cliffhanger that exists literally just to draw attention till the next episode, but then gets instantly dealt with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, no, it's like, this is a cliffhanger to just be like, here's one of the core plot points as we move forward. Not
kind of setup. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
No. So, yeah, there's quite a bit to break down and talk about with that episode. We can start with the most obvious thing that we've already talked about, but Ren changing semblance.
Yeah, or like evolving
his semblance, more accurate.
And that is cool too, because it's like the same but the opposite end of the spectrum. Because like before it was like he could mask anyone's he could mask emotions to be undetectable to Grimm, but now it's like I can see your emotions and know how you're feeling and why.
Yeah, which is just an awesome buff, and also it's gonna make there's so much room for his character to be used for subtle exposition now.
Exactly.
Which is really just on point. I like the way it was done. It felt like a character developing for the right reasons, not just because the story demanded a buff. It was very much so like the conditions were right for him to mature in that way. So that was really spot on. What do you think of the Elysian, like just changing paths entirely, but what do you think of the Elysian military's defense against the Grimm attack? The opening scene of the episode.
I'm glad, it was definitely cool that we got to see their army, even if it was brief. And I'm glad that Ironwood was did immediately deploy the forces to try to deal with it and didn't fuck around with that. But it is also a little disappointing. That's wait, really? It's just a couple mechs and a couple foot soldiers? Because I was definitely expecting it's weird that we didn't see any Elysian paladins or Elysian knights or the actual airships doing really anything in that fight. But it's also true that that's kind of semantics. The most important thing is the fact that they did show his forces fighting and that they were fighting the right people.
Right. All right. So, thoughts on Clyde returning? Klein.
I think that's good, just because not only does that mean that yes, he's gonna get Nora patched up and prevent her from dying, which is good.
It's all right. It's okay.
But it's also really good for when it comes to the progression of Weiss and Whitley's relationship, because I definitely want to see Weiss and Whitley have a good relationship, and I want to see Whitley go down a path that results in him not becoming another Jock.
Right, you want to see him become Jock if Jock were good.
Exactly.
You want him to be in that position of influence. You want him to have that authority, but to use that power responsibly.
Exactly. Ultimately, it's one of those things where exactly, you don't want him to become another jock. You want him to like become a Tony Stark, basically.
Right. Exactly.
And the fact that like he effectively saved Nora by calling Klein on his own is a really good first step to that.
Yeah, and I really like it because I like to think of like Winter represents the military, right?
I very much so agree.
And Weiss, I think, is kind of in this like mercenary freelancer status, because I feel like that really is what Team RWBY and Juniper are. Is they're like, you know,
elite mercenaries.
More so like mercenaries aren't in a faction. They go with their own whims.
Yes.
Does that make... And that's really the quality... Like, I'm not mercenary like they're killing for money. That's not right. But in terms of the fact that their loyalty isn't pegged to something. And ultimately where I'm going with this thought is I just really like the fact that Weiss nor Winter have to be in charge of the Schnee family if Whitley doesn't grow up to be an asshole.
Yep.
And so you can have, you know, Winter is the military, Weiss is the worldly aspect, and Whitley's holding down the family legacy.
Exactly.
And that's clean.
And exactly. And that would be a really satisfying like ending to the Schnee story whenever we get to the end of RWBY.
Right.
And yeah. And then obviously I really, really hope that that Oscar is able to get through the Hazel, and Mercury, of course, like Mercury was definitely still just being like, I'm not drinking this Kool-Aid, I'm going the vacuo, which technically means that he's not going to be part of the fight, so I guess that's good. But at this point, Hazel is more likely than Emerald, but even Emerald could turn.
No, we saw a little bit of stirring conflict within the antagonist squad, which is good. It's good progress to be made for our heroes.
And then, of course, another thing is that, like, there wasn't any of it in this episode, but they have been slowly building, like, Neo not liking Cinder for a long time.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where, like, it definitely would be, when it comes to the whole Oscar Hazel thing, if he is turned, it would be cool if there was, like, they had another scene, and in that scene we saw it turn. But if Hazel does turn, I would want it to ideally be something where, like, Oscar and Hazel escaping together, and Ren, John, and Yang infiltrating the whale together is happening at the same time, and they, like, run into each other in the middle of the whale and then become one group. Like if they're going to turn Hazel in the next episode or two, that's the ideal way that I would like to see it play out. But it's also one of those things where, like, as long as Hazel turns, we're good.
That would be something I'd like to see. It'll be interesting to see whether or not any of the villains will actually change allegiances.
Yeah.
And Hazel getting that last question, that could be something very interesting to look forward to.
But that's also hard because it's the type of thing where, like, Salem has the relic. So how does he get the relic from Salem, rub it, say Jin, ask the question, and have his vision without Salem being like, what are you doing?
You're dead.
Yeah.
You're betraying me, so you're dead.
Exactly.
No, you're right. That's definitely a good point.
And then with Penny, it's also hard because, like, because of the fact that she was, like, leaking like her dust fuel everywhere, I wouldn't be like, maybe she's, like, gonna be in a situation where, like, she's out of commission until she, like, gets repaired, and therefore she just, like, won't play a role. Or maybe she will be able to reactivate, and we know that we do know that if she reactivates, she's gonna go grab the lance and bring it to Salem, or try to do so. So the question is, if Penny reactivates, Like, will she reactivate or will she stay sleeping? And who will she fight if she reactivates?
Right. Hard to say.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to look forward to the next episode after this hiatus.
Yeah. And of course, since Cinder is going for Watts for the jailbreak, there's so much shit going on that I feel like that with that, either she'll walk in and grab Watts and walk out like easily unimpeded because no one has time to notice or deal with it, or more likely, because Watts is in the same
cell as Crow and
exactly, we might be in a situation where like Crow and Robin, where Crow and Robin are actually like, well, we don't like Ironwood, but we can't just let Cinder take Watts away.
No. Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess Jock is technically in those cells too, even though we haven't seen him in a minute.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any additional thoughts myself.
Yeah, like this is one of those episodes where it's set up and delivered on enough things that I do feel like that probably like we'll turn off the recording and then like 5 or 10 minutes later we'll be like, oh shit, I should have talked about blank. But I agree that right now I think I've basically covered everything that I feel the need to cover.
Well, that's what your reviews are for.
Right, exactly.
We definitely have had the initial reaction.
Cool. So I guess we will sign off here. So thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, peace.